Hello all, this is Trusha Patel. Welcome to the part 8 of syntax directed translation. Now we are going to talk about syntax tree. Now this is the grammar which is supporting the expression which can support multiplication and plus. The string is 3 multiplied by 5 plus 4. For that, the parse tree can be constructed like this, where each node can be either non-terminal or the terminal. Here, terminals are indicated using the bold sign. If I construct the annotated parse tree for the same string, then all terminals and the non-terminals are also having the attributes and the values of those attributes. But if I construct a syntax tree for this, the syntax tree will be like this. 3 and 5 will be multiplied first. The answer will be added with the 4. So here you can observe that your nodes are all the terminal symbols and there are no non-terminal symbols present. Now let us construct the syntax tree for the expression. So actual syntax tree will be constructed like if my string is a minus 4 plus c, here a and c are the identifiers and 4 is a constant. So one node is created whose first field is id and second field will be pointing at the entry of a in the symbol table. The next node created whose first part is number and second part is the actual value of that number, which is 4 in our case. Then one more node is created for the operator, which is having 3 parts. First part is the operator itself. Second part is pointer to the node of your left child. And third part is a pointer to the right child. Then one more node is created which first part is id and the second part will be pointing to the entry of c in the symbol table, and a node created for the plus. So first part is plus, second part is pointing to the left child, that is minus, and third part which is pointing to the right child, which is c. So for constructing this kind of syntax tree, let us form the SBD. So this is the rule which we already have and the semantic rules are associated with this. So this is our parse tree. Let us convert this parse tree in the annotated parse tree. So we are using a pointer attribute for the all non-terminal symbols. So first we will construct a node for the identifier A and the pointer of T will be pointing to that particular node. As our semantic rule was said that E dot pointer should be equals to T dot pointer. So for the same node, a one pointer is created for the E. One more node is created for the number 4. So pointer of T will be pointing to this node. Now one more node is created for minus. So left of that minus is pointing to A and the right of that minus is pointing to 4. So E dot pointer will be pointing to this new node of minus. Then the node of IDC is created. So T dot pointer will be pointing to this new node. One more node for the plus is created, which is pointing to the minus as a left child and pointing to the C for the right child. And E dot pointer will be pointing to this newly constructed node for the plus. So the blue color line which I have drawn, that is your parse tree, and with the red color lines I have indicated the annotated parse tree. So it's not compulsory that every time your attributes are having certain values, your attributes can also the pointers, and these pointers are pointing to certain memory locations or the nodes. Now next is DAG. The full form of DAG is directed acyclic graph. Let us construct the DAG for certain expression. If I have expression like a plus a multiplied by b minus c plus b minus c multiplied by d. If I construct a syntax tree for this expression, it will be something like this. Now to construct the DAG, we have to find out the sub-expressions which are similar. So you can see over here that we are having two subtrees of b minus c. So I can combine them and can form like this. So b minus c is only one time and both the multiplication signs are pointing to it. So for the left multiplication sign, this sub expression is a right child, while for the right side multiplication sign, the same subtree is acting as a left child. Now try to find out that is there any other sub expressions. So there are a at the two different places. So I can combine it like this. So for the plus, your left child will again be the a. And now in this tree, there is no common subtree. So this is called DAG. So if I want to construct a DAG, first I need to construct a parse tree. From that I have to find out the subtrees which are similar, and I can eliminate one of them so that the overall construction time will be reduced, and that is your DAG. Now next is value number method. Now if we have expression I is equals to I plus 10, the DAG for it can be constructed like this. But how the DAG will be actually coded or the represented? So we'll be constructing a table starting from the bottom to top in the DAG. So first we have I. So at index number 1 we'll be having entry like ID and the pointer to the entry of I in the symbol table. Next we have 10. So entry will be done at the index number 2, that is num, and value of that number is 10. Now next we have plus. So there is plus entry, and plus is having two child. One is a left child and the right child. Left child is I, whose entry is available at index 1, and right child is 10, whose entry is available at index 2. So that's why this 1 and 2 is written with the plus. Now next is equals to. The left child of equals to is I, and right child of equals to is plus. So entry of I is available at index 1 and entry of plus is available at index 3. So along with equals to 1 and 3 is written. So this is the actual representation or the actual way we are saving the expression. So value number method is used for that. Thank you. That's all about the syntax directed translation. Thank you all.